All right. Good evening, really. It is July 4th, Independence Day. Happy July 4th, everybody. Sorry I didn't get anything out yesterday. It was just a long day. So, and I misspoke in the previous video. I said I got through chapter 5. I meant to say I got to chapter 5. I didn't go through it. By the way, sorry. Mandino mission success. I'm ahead of myself. So end of chapter 4 ended off on him with the dare to go see his girlfriend. Chapter 5 and chapter 6. Chapter 5 is about him going, meeting Priscilla. They just hang out and have food and talk and catch up. And he gives her his wings to hold on to because he asked her to marry him whenever he gets back. So that's kind of the side note or the footnote of it. The real story is the very last line of chapter 5 is successful people do the things that failures are afraid to tackle. That's really the objective of this book. And with this here, that is something I'll probably spend the majority of this video on. I'll go back to that. Chapter 6 is them starting their mission. They're flying to England. They blindly fly to Greenland and then, take their trek on to their base, which they're finding out the realities of war. There's bunks missing, there's troops and platoons that are coming back that are, people are dead or missing or not found or killed in action. So that's where they are right now. So this is through chapter 6. We're at the beginning of chapter 7. But the successful people do the things that failures are afraid to tackle. This is nothing new. Everyone's heard this. It's doing that extra set in the gym. It's staying up that extra hour to study. It's going into work early and staying late. It's exceeding the minimum and always going for your best. That's really what success is. I think the current problem is stuff like this. We try to measure it a lot faster in the current day because we only see what we're shown. We don't see the process. That's why I'm doing this, so you can know the process. So if for some reason I'm well known in 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, those that have followed me through the process can see it. Or they can go back and go, look, he didn't just arrive, he put in the work. This is something where, like, prodigies, I don't really believe in. There's very few exceptions to that rule. A prodigy, I don't know if this is by definition, but is someone who can achieve something or has a skill in something in which they never practiced. Those are more or less prodigies. But young kids that are really good at instruments or a sport or language, they just put their 10,000 hours in faster. They say I think I've gone over this before. Maybe I've just gone over this in my own rehearsing. But they say 10,000 hours is the time frame of mastery. So if you're doing something for that amount of time, if you put in the 10,000 hours of work, by that point it's a second nature sort of thing. Well, children have more time. They can put in 10 hours a day of playing an instrument, of learning a language, of practicing a sport or a skill. And 10 hours a day, that adds up way faster than if you're an adult and you're putting in an hour a day or two hours a week. That mastery level, it takes much, much longer to achieve. So I'm not discouraging anyone from believing, obviously, in your children, especially if you think they're really good at something. Definitely run with that. But scale it and give them credit for the amount of time in which they put in for it. Don't take that away from them because they got really good really fast. That you're cheapening that, and you're removing that success that they're having. If you put in 10 years of work doing whatever to get to your goal, and someone was like, oh, yeah, you're pretty good at that, you're right. Or, I don't really see why, you think you know that so well, or I'm so amazed that you can do that so good so quickly. You would want somebody to say, you've put in a ton of work, and it's so great to see that you have reached this point of keen ability within this. That would be much more beneficial to anyone to hear than like, wow, you're really good at that, Especially, it seems like you weren't even doing it that long. No, I've been doing this for 15 years. A long time. So keep that to scale with whatever you're doing. Success is what failures won't do, is really what that is. How to get to success or how to reach your success is when someone else says, I don't have to do that. You do it anyways. That's what that is. So keep that in mind whenever you're thinking of anything that you want. So I'm in this coach class. In this coaching class, in my first session, because I missed the first few classes, me and a woman sat down. We sort of FaceTime. It's called Zoom teleconference, and we sort of practiced coaching each other. And I struck a chord with her that she got really fired up about. She was like, yes, this is really what I want to do. This is my overall goal. This is what I want to achieve. And I could have ran with that with her for hours if we were just talking, because that's the energy or the feel that you want your brain to stay in. It's easy to stay there. No one wants to bridge the gap. No one wants to put in the work, lay the foundation, do the construction from where you are to that place. It's a very few. So don't be that rule, be the exception to bridge that for yourself. So again, this is a cool story. I'm not that far in. I don't know how many chapters there are. 28, 29, 30. Oh, sorry, 19, 20. I'm sorry, I was misreading. There's 20 chapters. They're in Roman numerals. XX, duh, it's 20. There's 20 chapters, and it's only 160 pages or something. It's not real long, it's easy to read, and it's a good book. So, Mandino, Mission Success, you should pick it up. Today's the 4th. So, tomorrow the 5th, I'll try to get back into this again. Probably read much more than I did today. I only read like 15 pages. But progress is doing something. So, like, share, subscribe. It'd be appreciated. I'm doing much more taglining on Instagram. I don't know if I can go back and do that in YouTube, but just trying to get people to see something maybe they've never seen. So again, like, share, subscribe. I gotta get back onto this regular daily thing. I'm sorry about that. I made a promise and I've been breaking that. That's on me. And I will, I gotta see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Have a good Independence Day.